I want to talk today about something that, frankly, I didn't expect to love as much as I do: strength training. Now, before you click away because you think I'm about to turn into some kind of gym bro, hang with me. I'm not talking about bulking up or becoming a bodybuilder. I'm talking about lifting heavy things, dumbbells, kettlebells, even body weight, in a smart and intentional way to protect your health, especially if, like me, you live with health anxiety. As someone who has spent countless hours Googling symptoms, convinced every strange ache or feeling is something catastrophic, I've realized that I need tools, real science-backed tools, to fight back against the constant background noise in my head. Strength training, it turns out, is one of the best tools I've found. I started strength training to calm my mind and feel physically stronger, but I quickly discovered that the benefits go way beyond just feeling good. There's a mountain of research showing how lifting weights or doing resistance-based exercises has a profoundly positive effect on nearly every system in the body. It's not just about muscles. It's about your heart, your brain, your bones, your hormones, your immune system, even your lifespan. Let's start with something foundational: muscle mass. As we age, we naturally lose muscle in a process called sarcopenia. It starts in our 30s and accelerates in our 60s and beyond. Loss of muscle isn't just about looking less toned. It's directly linked to increased risk of falls, fractures, insulin resistance, and even death from all causes. Strength training is the #1 way to combat this. It literally stimulates muscle protein synthesis, signaling your body to grow and maintain lean mass. And why is muscle mass so important? For starters, muscle helps regulate blood sugar. The more muscle you have, the more glucose your body can store and use efficiently. This lowers your risk for type 2 diabetes, which is especially important if, like me, you've worried about insulin resistance, prediabetes, or blood sugar crashes. Studies show that resistance training improves insulin sensitivity, even independently of weight loss. And then there's the heart. For a long time, we thought only cardio was good for the cardiovascular system. But new research shows that strength training is just as important, maybe even more important for some people. Lifting weights improves blood pressure, lowers LDL cholesterol, increases HDL cholesterol, and improves circulation. One large meta-analysis found that people who strength train regularly have a significantly reduced risk of dying from heart disease. As someone who has panicked more than once over heart palpitations or chest tightness, that's a pretty compelling reason to keep lifting. Now let's talk about the brain. This one blew me away. Strength training improves cognitive function, memory, and executive processing. One study in older adults showed that doing resistance exercises just twice a week significantly improved brain function, and those benefits lasted for over a year after they stopped training. Researchers believe that the increase in brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, plays a major role. BDNF is like Miracle-Gro for your neurons. It helps your brain adapt, learn, and recover from stress. And speaking of stress, strength training is a powerhouse when it comes to mental health. It reduces anxiety. That's right. Numerous studies have shown that resistance training significantly lowers symptoms of anxiety, often just as effectively as medication or therapy. For someone like me who's battled health anxiety for years, this is gold. It gives me something I can do physically that sends the message to my brain: you're safe, you're in control, you're building something. That sense of empowerment is crucial. It's also incredible for sleep, which I've always struggled with during periods of anxiety. Strength training helps regulate your circadian rhythm, boosts natural melatonin production, and reduces nighttime awakenings. And when I sleep better, everything else improves. My energy, my outlook, even my perception of physical symptoms. Let's go deeper. One area I never considered until I started digging into the research is the role strength training plays in hormonal balance. For men and women, resistance training naturally increases levels of testosterone and growth hormone, both of which decline with age. These hormones are essential for tissue repair, bone density, libido, energy, and immune function. Importantly, strength training also helps reduce cortisol, the stress hormone. High cortisol is associated with everything from belly fat to inflammation to immune suppression. Strength training helps restore that balance. And that brings me to inflammation, a word that comes up constantly in health anxiety communities. Chronic inflammation is linked to nearly every modern disease: heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, autoimmune conditions. Strength training reduces markers of systemic inflammation, including C-reactive protein. It also stimulates the production of anti-inflammatory cytokines, helping your immune system stay balanced and resilient. Another surprising benefit? Bone density. If you're worried about osteoporosis or fractures later in life, strength training is one of the best things you can do. Lifting weights signals your bones to lay down more mineral density, making them stronger. It's the same principle as muscles. Stress the tissue in a controlled way and it adapts. One study found that postmenopausal women who engaged in high-intensity resistance training actually reversed some bone loss. Now, let's not forget about longevity. This is a big one for health-conscious people. The research is crystal clear. People with more muscle mass live longer. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. Functional strength helps you stay independent, mobile, and confident as you age. A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that strength training was associated with a 10 to 17% reduction in all-cause mortality, independent of aerobic exercise. That's massive. What's more, strength training improves body composition in a way that cardio alone doesn't. While aerobic exercise burns calories during the workout, strength training increases your resting metabolic rate by building lean muscle tissue. That means you're burning more calories 24/7, even when you're not exercising. For those of us who get hyper-focused on weight or body fat, this is a much healthier, more sustainable way to think about fitness. And here's something I never expected. Strength training improves posture, joint health, and balance. If you've ever worried about back pain, joint degeneration, or poor mobility, this is your answer. By strengthening the muscles around your joints, you reduce wear and tear, improve alignment, and prevent injury. It's like investing in a better frame for your body. One more reason I love strength training: it's incredibly efficient. You don't have to spend hours at the gym. Just 2 or 3 sessions a week, 30 to 45 minutes each, can deliver all of these benefits. And you don't need fancy equipment. Dumbbells, resistance bands, body weight, these all work. I keep a few weights at home, and some days I just do push-ups, squats, and kettlebell swings. The key is consistency. For people with health anxiety, there's also a deeper benefit. Strength training gives you a tangible sense of control over your body. It shifts your mindset from one of fear, constantly scanning for danger, to one of empowerment. When I deadlift or press or do pull-ups, I'm reminded that my body is capable, resilient, and alive. It pulls me out of my head and into the present moment. It replaces fear with focus, doubt with strength, anxiety with confidence. I'm not saying strength training will cure health anxiety, but it's one of the best tools I've found for managing it. It trains your nervous system to be more resilient. It trains your brain to reframe stress. And it gives your body the support it needs to stay healthy for the long haul. If you've been hesitant to get started, let me encourage you. Just begin. Start light. Learn proper form. Be patient. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up. Over time, you'll build strength not just in your muscles, but in your mind. And that kind of strength changes everything. So if you're like me, someone who's committed to doing everything you can to stay healthy, protect your body, and feel more in control, strength training is not optional. It's essential. Your future self will thank you. And more importantly, your present self will feel calmer, stronger, and more grounded with every rep.